Okay, we're going to do some more exponential function problem solving here today on the math channel. Here's the first example. I currently make $50,000 at my job. I will get a pay raise of 4% every year for the next 10 years. How much will I be making after 10 years? So you've got dollars and years. X is years, Y is dollars. Now, if I'm looking for dollars per year, you're going to be looking for a long time because it doesn't even exist. It doesn't happen that way. It's a percent per year. So you put what your percent is, 4%. Now, what that means, that changes it. It's not a linear, it's an expo. Now, when you have an expo, you got to find what your factor is, okay? It's called either a growth or a decay factor, okay? So what I do is I take 100% somewhere off to the side, but this time I don't minus it because it's a raise. Well, that would be adding it. You got to read the problem. So it would now be 104, okay? Now you need to move the decimal twice, not just to the end every time. See, because if you move it once, now it's between 0 and 4. Twice it's between 1 and 0. So my factor is 1.04, okay? So not 0.10. You don't move it all the way to the end. You move it twice left. Now, you are going to want to make a table here. It doesn't have to be a long one. So Y is dollars, X is years. We don't make the graph though. Okay. So 0, 1, 2. So this guy started making $50,000. Now we multiply by the factor, 1.04. It's called a growth factor. What we were doing yesterday was a decay because it was going down. Now it's not going to be going down. It's going to go up. 52,000 after the first year. Times 1.04. Now take your 52,000. 54,080. Okay, that's good enough. We get the idea. Now we got to get to 10 years. Now, we don't make a graph when we're multiplying on an expo. We go right the expo. We start with the base equation, A times B to the caret X equals Y. Okay, so my A is what the Y started at, 50,000. The B is what we're multiplying by, which is 1.04, caret. And then instead of X, why don't I just put 10 equals Y? And now I'm going to get my answer. Y has no operations. We just go to the calculator and punch in the operations. Okay, $74,012. I'm not going to worry about the crap after the decimal. It's dollars, so that's your label. Okay. Pretty much all you do on this. The panda population is currently 1,500 in China. If the population increases by 7% each year for the next 15 years, how many pandas are there going to be in 15 years? So you have pandas and years. Years is X, pandas is Y. So per. Pandas per year. Okay, well, there's not an actual pandas per year, it's a percentage, 7%. So that makes an expo, and anytime we have an expo, we have to know what the factor is. The factor is found by taking 100%, okay, somewhere, and increasing. So now I will be adding. Those problems we did the other day, we were subtracting, but now we're adding. Now you don't just move the decimal all the way to the end and put a 0. You move it twice to the left. 1 between the 0 and 7, 2 between the 1 and the 0. So that's where it ends at. 1.07 is the factor of growth. So XY. So X is years and Y is pandas. 0, 1, 2. So the pandas start at 1,500. Then we start multiplying. We don't add, okay? You multiply by your factor, which is 1.07. That's why you got to identify your factor. 1,500 times 1.07, 1,605 times 1.07. If you get a decimal, you can write it if you want, or just write the whole number. It doesn't really matter. That's just me showing what's happening. And then 15 years. Okay, so now we just go right to the function. We don't try to make a line because it's not a line, okay? The line is when you repeatedly add. That's linear, okay? But now you're multiplying every time, so you're going to take a times b to the x power equals y. So the a is 1500. The b is that factor that you multiply by every time, caret, and then you insert 15 for the x equals y. Okay, y has no operation, so you just plug in the other side. Okay, so there's going to be 44,139 pandas. Now it's not money, so you put pandas. Okay, next problem. The price of peanut butter is currently $2.99. Over the next 20 years, it will increase in price by 1% each year. How much will peanut butter cost in 20 years? So you've got dollars and years. Years is X, dollars is Y. But there isn't a dollars per year, so instead there's a percent per year, and the percent is 1%. So that means an expo, and when you know you're going to have an expo, you got to identify what the factor is. Now with these percents, we want to take 100%, and it's increased, so it'd be plus 1. So that's 101. But you still need to move the decimal once, twice. So the decimal ends up between the 1 and the 0, so it's 1.01 is the factor. So now, remember when I make my table, I'm going to do the 0, 1, 2, but I'm not going to add, I'm going to multiply. By the 1 point factor means you're going to multiply. So you have $2.99. Then you multiply by 1.01. $3.0199, just put it, times 1.01. 3.0. You can write the whole decimal if you want, I don't really care. And then 20 years. That's going to take forever to do that all the way to 20. So now I need my function. So a times b to the x power equals y. So the a is 2.99. My b is what I'm multiplying by 1.01 caret, and then I put 20 in for my caret. So 2.99 times 1.01 caret 20, $3 and about 65 cents, 65 cents. Okay. Tell you what, if it's a dollar amount like this is, if it's a money problem, put 2 digits after the decimal. Okay. So technically on this first one, if it's not a money amount, round it to a whole number, but if it is a money amount, so technically on this one, go back to that first one, please. So I should have put 0.21 after it, okay? So I want cents on the money amounts, okay? Alright, next one. An antique is worth $450. Every year the price will increase by 6.5%. How much will the antique be worth 11 years from now? So we have dollars and years. Years is X, dollars is Y. So per, dollars per year. Okay, there isn't a dollars per year, it goes by percent, so it's 6.5%, so that makes us have an expo function, and I have to know the factor of that. So to find the factor, you take 100%, and it's increasing, so instead of minusing like you were in the last assignment, you're going to plus 6.5 to 100. 100 plus 6.5 is 106.5. Now the decimal isn't at the end, but it still has to be moved twice. So once, it takes us between the 0 and the 6, but twice, now we're between the 1 and the 0. So the factor is 1.065. Okay. Okay, so y is dollars, years is x. 0, 1, 2. So we start at 450, and then we multiply by our factor. 1 point times by your factor. So 450 times 1.065, okay, 479.25. Remember, if this is money, you want to have 2 decimal places. Times 1.065 again. $510.40. Now I block it off, and now I'm trying to find 11 years. Okay. So A times B to the x power equals y. So the A is 450. My B is the 1.065. That's my growth factor. And then the x is 11. So you know you can replace all those. You can't replace the y because that's where the question mark's at. So I go 450 times 1.065 caret 11. Now I want you to look at the y table. It's a dollars amount, so I want 2 decimal places because it'd be 899.61 or 62. Because dollars also have cents. Those are the first 2 digits after the decimal. Okay, 899.62.